Well, hello everyone. Meettina here. Welcome everyone to my channel. First of all, I would like to thank you everyone for following my channel, and I appreciate those who just came in. This is your first time watching this video. Please do not forget to subscribe, click like, and share this video. Today, I would like to introduce this amazing school of astrology, cosmology, and magic. Now, just have to tell you, I'm taking the class as well, cosmology class with our famous Ismael Perez, but also amazing teacher Taylor Fortune. Taylor Fortune and Sara Ashley, both of them, I invite both of them to come in and talk today because both of them are the co-founder of this school. So let's welcome Taylor and also Sara. Who would like to start first?
Go for it,
Thank
Sarah.
This is a thanks,
Female first. There you go,
Yeah, female
gentlemen.
first.
ladies first. Okay, so I have been studying astrology basically for my whole life, and I was a public school teacher for 13 years, and then the virus happened. And I know I can't say more than that because we're on YouTube and I want you to keep your channel, Tina. But things
Mhm.
got weird for me. And I decided, what am I doing with my life? I want to live my divine purpose. And my divine purpose was no longer teaching in public schools. And the blessing of the virus was making that abundantly clear to me. So I started using my divine gifts in the public arena. I started an Instagram account, a website for astrology, for doing astrology readings. And then Taylor and I connected to do a show about love astrology. And we did that for a while, but then we thought, like, why aren't we just teaching this? Why aren't we just teaching all these beautiful tools to the public? And I combined my, skills of teaching and my skills of astrology. And I knew that Taylor was a wonderful teacher because I took his tarot class and I was always interested in tarot, but he like completely up leveled my readings. Like he just, I don't know, somehow he just like gave me the magic keys, the magic formula for tarot. So I knew that him and I would just teach beautifully together. And he had the same idea too. And that's what happened. We decided to start this school of the mystic arts. And then Taylor had the idea of bringing Ishmael in to teach starseed cosmology because so many people are fascinated by this subject right now. It's something that's, we've really come into contact with through the internet and some books, but it seems like Ishmael has more insight into it than most people. So bringing him into this school has been an amazing gift for everybody, not just us, but the collective as well. So we want to give people these tools, to learn and actually apply into their real lives. These have been like secrets. People have called it the mystery schools throughout the ages in ancient Egypt, but these are the online mystery schools now. It shouldn't be a mystery anymore. We should all have this knowledge, especially as we're, ascending into new earth.
It's amazing though because there's some school out there, but that's not enough out there on the internet. And it's nice to get, someone like two of you teaching variety of classes and also cosmology too, because I found it to be quite fascinating as well. So, well, thank you so much with that, Sarah.
No,
Taylor, your turn.
Yeah, and so I have a little bit different of a background because I was raised with all this material. I'm a third generation. You can call it a hereditary reader, generational reader. But so my mom she's a kind of a leader in the world of Kabbalistic Tarot, a published author. She's been teaching classes out of our house, my childhood house, since the 80s when I was a little kid. And it was a pretty eclectic, alternative upbringing. Of course, your mom is the neighborhood witch. That's a little bit different. So yeah, to be honest, as a child, like I wasn't that into it because it's my mom. You're not into what your mom does, and it takes time to come back around to that. And so I got more back into it around college, more for fun, just doing tarot card readings at parties. It was part of my upbringing, so it came pretty naturally to me. But to be honest with you, it wasn't until I was in my 30s and I had got an autoimmune disease, and it was like a near fatal disease that I basically turned my whole life around from where I was going before, like completely different trajectory, completely different life. and kind of conceived this business. I know it sounds dramatic, but it's true. Kind of conceived this business from a hospital bed. It's it's the truth. Like literally, like in touch with my guides, just wondering like what I want to do for the next chapter of my life, how I want to make it different, how I want to leave my mark on the world, how I want to integrate what I was raised with into a new life that's very much my own, really infused with divine masculine energy as much as divine feminine, because I was raised with, my mom's world is very divine feminine. So yeah, it was just about integration at an age where I was just ready to make that big change.
Wow, wow. I mean, that just touched my heart. You know why? Because COVID situation and also illness really shift
Mm.
our awareness in life. Because 2020, I was in bed in the hospital for 1 month for a bilateral COVID pneumonia. I almost died.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
I almost died. But that led me to do this YouTube. I started to do YouTube just on my COVID recovery. I have been a long hauler for 19 months.
Wow.
Beginning of the year, this year, I actually just didn't have anything much to say on my COVID healing because I became healed. And but in my heart, I just felt like I need to continue doing this video and connect with people. And I did ask myself question too, like, what does Tina like at the latter part of my life? What am I do to contribute to the world?
Yes.
It's got to be my passion. And
Yeah.
my passion has to do with esoteric study, metaphysics. I've always been like, I used to teach as well a long time ago, but I've been kind of disconnected for a while. But just what you just said and what Sarah just said too, the COVID time shifts so many people's life, the illness too, almost, you know, cross over, shift your awareness and your life. And it's a beautiful thing that you guys are now walking the path of a teacher, healer, sharing your knowledge, sharing your wisdom, and helping other people who are awakening on their
Yeah.
journey and open to this world, to this, what do you call, magic or cosmology, astrology, energy healers that has not been accepted or even open even 10 years ago. You guys
Yes.
have been around this for a long, long time. It wasn't that much accepted or even, acknowledged as much, but now there's a lot more and more people are opening so much. So with
Yeah.
that said, I'm going to open up the link to your school because we were talking early before we started, like right now your cosmology classes are packed full. I am
Yeah.
in it on the second week now, and there's a lot of people in the classes. And there's still, even though a lot of people follow Ismael Perez, they still don't know about his classes. And I told you guys that a couple of weeks ago, I just sent a couple of people to sign up, I think in
Thank you.
November, October, November. And I'm like, wow, there's still people don't know. And that's a fact because we have short span of attention.
Yes.
We go to the site, sign up, and that's it. We don't look at
Right.
your site that you have so much to offer. One day I got a chance to look at your whole site a little bit longer. Admit that my flaw as well. I was like, wow, you got more classes. Well, you were offering more classes. That's why, Taylor. That's why I went and looked, you know.
Yeah,
Uh,
I cross promote.
yeah, that's great because
Since
I
you
wouldn't,
guys are all here.
I know since,
Yeah.
because I wouldn't know. And I mean, I don't have time to go into the next class yet, but it's like, oh, this is what people should know. So let's show your classes here is amazing. You got a lot to offer.
Yes.
And look at, you got more besides Ishmael, you got other teachers as well.
Mhm.
Correct. Yes.
Amazing, beautiful. You guys are absolutely great, good looking people. That goes with studying this field. We are heart and mind. How about that?
Yeah.
So this
Thank
is
you.
an amazing school for cosmology, astrology, psychics, intuitive energy healings, elemental magics. Oh wow, I don't know much about that, but you guys can actually talk about that. Can you, each one of you can go through briefly about each class so the audience can know and they can decide, hey, that might be something they would like to take.
Sure.
Yeah. I guess do you want me to start with Starseed or move on to
Yeah.
Magic? Okay.
Well, however you want, we have a screen up here for Starseed Cosmology, of course. Some people may be new too and never come across Ishmael's as well. You never know, right? So we're
Yeah.
gonna talk about that and what this class is about. It's an amazing class, all right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, fascinating class. So what's great about the Starseed class is that I came into it as a fan essentially, because Ishmael and I were friends on Instagram. We'd done some lives together. I'd actually read his book 2 times, and so I was fascinated with Starseed Cosmology, and Sarah and I were putting together the roster of classes. You know, just brainstorming. Hey, what kind of classes do we want at the Mystic Arts? Sarah's obviously a lifelong astrologer and Akashic record reader, a tarot reader. I'm a tarot reader. I do elemental magic. We both study twin flames and energy clearing and stuff like that. So we had this big gaping hole where Starseed Cosmology was, and I knew I wanted it to be part of the school. So it didn't take much thinking to think, who's the best Starseed cosmologist that I know out there, you know? So that's the origin of how I connected with Ishmael on it. It really just started with an Instagram message with very little information. I just said, hey, Ishmael, how would you like to collaborate on a Starseed project? You know? And he said, sure, I'm interested, brother. And then, a few messages later, him and I met at a coffee shop, and we started putting it together. Now, I know you're asking about the content of the class. I'll get to the content in just a second, but I just think it's interesting that people know the history a little bit of how it started. So we met, we went over his book together. We both had our copies open, flipping through chapters, talking about what we're going to discuss. And ultimately what it came down to, because he'd been doing so many lives for so many years where I always felt his lives kind of started in the middle of the whole cosmology, if you will, of the whole story. So I said, Ishmael, we should do a class that starts at the beginning. The first question of the class should be, what is a starseed? What is the mission of a starseed? What is the galactic history of the universe? What is a galactic federation? What are the different star systems? How do they relate? How does this all tie in to planet Earth? Why are we the chosen planet for the ascension process? What is it with the biodiversity and the ecosystem on Earth that relates to the entire cosmology of the universe? What is the AI? What is the Cabal? What is all this? So we started talking about all these questions basically from the ground up. So I was able to cultivate the information out of him as both a fan and an amateur expert. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it didn't come across amateur at all. I mean, it's just like you guys have been, experienced, and this is what you guys have known through many lifetimes, but it's just in the earth format. First time you do it to the public, yeah, sure, but you guys already know all this stuff. Yes.
Yeah. I'm humble about it because he's been studying this stuff for the better part of 25 years.
Yeah.
And he does galactic channeling for this information, and these are all processes I'm learning from him. So it's pretty deep.
Even though we are teacher, we're still learning from other people too. Back and forth.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Back and forth.
Stops. Lifelong learner.
Exactly. When Ishmael, I'm sure he's probably learning from some places as well too. So yeah, we're like in that position. We play different roles. Yeah. I love the classes. The first class, you guys talk about 12 star seed, which is amazing in detail. Loving that. So I'm sure a lot of listeners and students who follow him would love to learn what star seed they come from. This would be a great class for them.
Right. Actually, Sarah, we should plug Starseed Astrology next because it's a perfect segue because Sarah's our astrologer and we are creating a class right now.
Yeah, I'm writing that class.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, please do that because I wonder that too. That according to my chart, what star seed it shows that where you're from, things like that. So I think that would be oh my God, that would be a bomb.
Tina, scroll down to where you see Starseed Astrology. It's the girl with the
bottom.
Yeah.
It's the bottom. So on September 28th, I believe that is, I believe it's at 10 a.m. Pacific, right, Taylor?
I'll have to double check, but yeah.
But you guys can look on our website. So if you keep scrolling down, Tina, you'll see it, the Starseed Astrology.
One more down.
More down.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, right here on the right side. So it is a one-day class. You can be a beginner, you could be advanced. It doesn't matter where you are in astrology. But of course, it helps if you've already taken some astrology classes before. But if somebody doesn't really quite understand the information presented, they can always take astrology with us. I'm going to try to break it down as simple as possible, but also have something for our advanced astrologers. I have figured out, not just from taking the Starseed Cosmology class with Ishmael and Taylor, but just from my own channeling, that there is a way to figure out from your birth chart, and you have to add the fixed stars on there. That's the thing. And not everybody knows how to do that. And I'm going to show you in my class how to do that. And you could see in your birth chart what starseed family you are from that. So there's
yeah, this is exciting, Sarah. Oh my God, you guys are on fire.
Scientific proof.
You guys are bringing on this. I'm excited just to hear that. You guys gonna bomb on the whole net here.
I love that. And because what is astrology? It's our cosmic blueprint. Yeah. So the star seeds come from astrology, right? It's from the heavens, it's from the sky. So it is so important for us to look at that, to put that extra layer of what is going on with our destiny, what's going on with their soul's path. So if someone's an expert astrologer and they don't know anything about this, it's really going to help them. Or if someone's just on their spiritual journey, this is going to help them as well. I'm going to teach them exactly how to find it in the 2-hour class. So they don't need to find it themselves. I'm going to show them examples. I'm going to show them pictures on charts, of how to find this. It's going to be a really fun, really interesting class. And I think it's going to help people on their spiritual journey to connect with their starseed family and to connect with their soul's mission on what they need to do for this planet and also the universe.
Wow. You know what? This is going to be big. I'm telling you, because I got a lot of listeners would always post, I wonder where I'm from. I think I'm from this. I think I'm serious. Yep. I think I'm, Palladians, and, they don't know for sure, but getting confirmation from their astrology chart and blueprint, that would definitely help them. Not only that, you mentioned about professional astrologers can actually add that layer to their client as well. So I think this is going to be wonderful for all beginners and even professional astrologer, to add to their work. Quickly, I forgot to mention that my talk is not only on YouTube, but I'm also on Spotify, Amazon Podcast, and also Apple Podcasts. So your website is at
www.themysticarts.org.
There you go. Themysticarts.org. Guys, if you're listening on the podcast, this is their website, themysticarts.org. And I will also put under description as well. But if you're listening on the podcast, that's where you're going to go and sign up. Sarah, when are you going to start this class of Starseed Astrology?
September 28th, but we already have people in it. So definitely sign up as soon as you can because it's filling up already.
Oh,
and
boy.
Of course, we'll have it again, but we can't do it every week because Taylor and I have busy schedules. I do private readings. I have private clients. So definitely get in while you can. And I just can't wait for this class. Like you said, it's going to help professional astrologers as well.
I think it's going to be exploding, that class, for sure. Now, let's go to the next one. I was looking at twin flames because I know that's one that's a very favorite. How about let's go over there first? Because I know there's a lot of people talk about twin flame. Not kidding you. This seems to be a big focus, too, for a lot of people. So which one of you would like to talk about this one?
I think we can both talk about it.
Sure, let's do that. Yeah, because it's twin. It's got to have both of you. It's twin, right? There you go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, this is the genesis, the origin of this class for me simply came from learning about twin flames personally. So just the process. I discovered what a twin flame was by having and finding a twin flame and like going through the motions of that. And I think a lot of us had heard the word twin flame before, but most people just conflated it with soulmates. Or like, oh yeah, it's my twin flame, it's my soulmate. And only when you start experiencing that phenomenon do you start then deep diving, doing the research, whether it's like Kurt Johnson or Eckhart Tolle or just other various YouTube, TikTok videos, other books and things like that. And then you actually start to unpack what it actually is, karmically, cosmically, soulfully, all those kind of things. So I did a deep dive myself, trying to understand the sensation or the feeling that I was going through. So, Sarah, how about you? What's your origin of the twin flame mythos?
Yeah, so as an Akashic Records reader, I do see that we all have reincarnation partners. We all have a soul family. So when we have a soul family, we have soulmates, but there's twin flames. And people do confuse soulmate, reincarnation partners with twin flames. Twin flames is something that's incredibly different. It's incredibly powerful. And of course, it interested me as an astrologer because I was channeled the formula essentially for finding twin flames in a synastry chart, which is a relationship compatibility chart between two people. So I just became fascinated with, helping people along this journey, showing them astrologically and also teaching them like the difference between soulmates and twin flames. It's really important because once you realize there's a difference, you can start ascending yourself, because that's, some people get that confused. They get that confused, like, well, I just want to romantically be my twin flame. That's my goal. It's like, well, how are you going to get to that goal? You actually have to get into your divine purpose. You can't just, it's like, when you play a game, like a board game, you can't go from the start place to the end place right away. You have to go through all these steps in order to be in twin flame union.
Now, let me ask you a question. Have you both found your own twin flames yet? I'm sure some listener would like to find that out. See that smile?
I have not. I'm waiting. waiting patiently.
How about you, Taylor?
Yeah, I have.
Awesome. Because I heard that right now, this is a time of ascension. This is when everybody will be reconnecting, reuniting with their twin flames. So I think the twin flame subject has been a popular subject for a long time, but in this time seem to be heightened among star seeds. So I'm very happy that you're teaching that. Also, you mentioned about Akashic record. Are you going to offer that class too, Sara?
That's going to be in our psychic clairvoyance class. I think if you scroll down, you can see that. Tina, yeah, psychic clairvoyance. And we're going to start that at the beginning of October. People are already starting to sign up. So in the psychic clairvoyance class, I'm going to teach people how, with my friend BA, we're going to teach people how to connect with their third eye chakra, with the higher realms, with their spirit guides, and also to connect with their own Akashic records and how to help other people access their Akashic records.
Beautiful, guys. You're interested in Akashic reading? There you go, class for psychic clairvoyance. I know that one is a very famous, popular subject as well. Get a lot of people talk about that, especially when Ismael and some other channels frequently talk about it lately. So yes, a lot more people would like to access that.
And Tina, I think that's because a lot of people believe that they might be in their last physical incarnation, with the solar flash coming, and the Akashic records do provide a lot of healing as they show a pattern of what our soul has been through, and also the contacts that our soul has been through as well.
Now you get me two questions coming up for you, Sara. Okay. Does Akashic record show on astrology chart reading? And also, you know what, my mind just went blank on a second because it just came so quick, but I'm going to ask you that first question first.
Sure. So it's the North Node and the South Node in astrology, and the North Node tells us about our soul's path, and the South Node tells us about our previous incarnation, and tells us about the great things that we came here with, and also some of the bad habits and some of the tendencies and proclivities we also came with in the past life. So yes, the astrological chart, your horoscope chart, your cosmic blueprint does give access to the Akashic records. It certainly does.
Okay, my question come up again. Have you seen any of your clients that when you did, the astrology reading on them, have you seen the point of their last reincarnation? And also, will the student be able to see if this is their last incarnation?
Yes, absolutely, on both. And usually it does resonate. They're like, oh my gosh, like I can't, like they're just like, wow, I feel that. So I love teaching that to people. I want to give people these tools, even though I don't want to dissuade them from going to an intuitive astrologer like myself or somebody else, but it's so powerful to have these tools at our disposal, especially at this time of new earth.
Wow, wow, wow. Suggestion, maybe we can add like a card trick on top of that besides psychic clairvoyance. It's just amazing. I'm excited. I'm sure the audience who are listening are excited as well. Again, the website, just in case those who just tune in, is the mystic card, the mysticarts.org. That's their website to sign up for all these classes, the mysticarts.org. So which class is next that would you like to talk about and share with the audience?
We can talk.
Taylor.
We'll do. You want to do Magic, then we'll do Astrology Academy because that's a
Yes,
big one.
that's
But we'll do the
perfect.
Magic one first.
The magic
Yeah, at the
and
top. At the top. Yeah.
cool. Elemental magic,
Elemental
correct?
Magic.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's one I want to find out. Taylor.
Yeah, this one's cool because this is kind of an overview. On the first class, we talk about um, elemental mysticism, essentially. So basically, the four elements: earth, wind, fire, water, and or air. You can call it air or wind, and how it relates to various different spiritual fields. You know, whether it's astrology, tarot, chakras, crystals, herbs, all of it. And also, and then we later in the class relate it to the pantheon of the gods, spirit guides, archangels. They're all united by their elements, okay? And each element, I mean, as you already know, but and a lot of the audience knows, but you know, each element has certain powers. Fire is the, you know, power of desire, and water is the power of love, and you know, gets more complicated than that, but just essentially, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And so when you know what element it is that you want to invoke, like whether it's if it's abundance, then that would be an earth element. You know, if it's healing, it's more likely a water element. If it's mental, logical ideas, communication based, you know, notions, then it is an air element. So in that class, we break it all down and we talk a little bit about the history of magic. But what we're trying to do is modernize it so people aren't, first off, they're not afraid of it. You know, they're obviously, you know, you have to kind of differentiate it from black magic and, you know, doing your evil bidding and evocations and invocations and stuff like that. And we're trying to modernize it so people recognize that it can exist without being overly ritualized and rooted in, like, you know, Latin or Aramaic or you know, old world incantations and things like that. That it is really just the process of manifestation and intention setting. Focused will and intention is the foundation of it, and it can be a lot more grounded than people think. You know, it's like it's very accessible, and we want it to be accessible. We don't want it to be you know, intimidating and archaic and, you know, just off-putting. We want to offer this to people so they feel like it's something they can do in their living room right now, today, to get in touch with their divine guides, their own divinity.
Well, like especially right now, which chaos that we have, the COVID
Yeah,
pandemic and
yeah,
and a lot of chaos and war, inflation. A lot of people go into this fear mode right now, and this is why all these classes are popping up. That's what I believe. When a student take this class, Elemental Magic, Taylor, what benefit can they get out to help them right now? With all these elements, and you mentioned.
yeah. I think what it ultimately comes down to is our five-part spell casting process that we offer. That is a custom process that Sarah and I created. And so we teach that spell casting, which is intention setting essentially. It's manifestation meditation. We have broken it down into five very easy, digestible parts that people can do in the course of, say, like anywhere from a 5 minute to a 40-minute meditation. So as long as you focus on these five questions, these five aspects, you know, the universe is a mechanism of giving. You know, as long as our conscience is clear and our heart is pure, then the universe will provide for us. So that's how that five-part process is what we're ultimately giving to the students of that class.
Is that what you guys used when you guys started this school?
Yeah, you
I
know,
bet you guys did, right? Yeah.
it's a combination of using it and creating it. It's
Yeah.
strange. It's not, you know, we're constantly course correcting, changing, altering things as we go. Students have incredible questions, suggestions, and ideas, and this is all about integration. You know, Sarah and I aren't masters of the universe. We're like, you know, just open. Yeah. Sarah, I'll let you talk. Go ahead.
Beautiful.
It's just we're pivoting all the time. That's what it is. We're always pivoting. And that's what magic is too. It's the ability to pivot in this wild world that we're in right now. And I think, Tina, before we even started, you were saying everything's going to fast forward, if I'm not mistaken. Do I remember you saying something like that?
Oh God, I don't remember right now. It's just like so much we talk about,
I'm
I
the
was
same
excited.
way.
Yeah.
I talk, I can't remember.
But it was interesting, like right before I got on this podcast, I was thinking about how it seems like the frequency and vibration of the universe is just like in fast forward mode, but like hyper fast forward mode right now. Everything is just moving so quickly. So being able to work with the elements, being able to use the 5-part system, but actually getting into a stable spiritual place where you could say, okay, like whatever happens, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to trust the universe. I'm going to trust my guides. And I'm also going to trust myself. That's something that a lot of people need right now. So we're very happy to bring this to people because people need that sense of, I wouldn't say control, but because none of us are completely in control, but at least they're in control of their own space, their own domain.
I also see it as grounding for them to get grounded and focused, being here through the storms that we're going through. So,
Yeah.
so what you guys just mentioned that helped in this. So let's go to the next one here. Did we go over Astrology Academy? We did that, right?
No, not yet.
All right, let's do it, Sarah. I guess it's your corner, right?
Yeah, and then the next one will be Taylor's because
That's right. How funny. See that?
Yeah.
Yin and yang. I love that. I love that.
100%. So we have 3 different series of classes for Astrology Academy. We have, and there are 12 classes total, but you could sign up for 4 classes at a time. Okay, so it's for a series of 4 classes 3 times. 4 times 3, 12.
Yeah.
So basic math, basic math. So the first set is birth charts, learning how to read a birth chart. And this is for a beginner, but anybody can come in, even someone who's advanced, there's always something new to learn. That's what I've realized in this industry, and also being, a teacher as well for so many years, that no matter how advanced you think you are, even in a beginner class, there's something that's going to be a light bulb moment for you. You're going to get a download. And then in the second set of class, it's all about love astrology. So it's about relationship charts. It's about twin flames, soulmates. Is this person your karmic? What is the purpose of the relationship? So Taylor and I teach everybody how to, utilize these skills on their own. So they don't always have to go to a professional astrologer. We're teaching them how to take these matters into their own hands. And also the last set of classes, you'll love this, Tina. It's all about past and future lives and how to use the charts. And there's different kinds of charts that we do teach in there, and different skills that anybody can use once they have the basics down, especially from the first and second series of classes, to understand their past lives with other people, and also perhaps their future lives, their future incarnations with other people and themselves as well.
Wow. That's a lot of stuff that you guys are teaching here. This is amazing because you just don't teach just like how to read chart, but you talk about, soulmate, twin flames, and also past life, future ride. This is like huge for a lot of people. I'm excited about this class. And you're right about that. I used to be a teacher 12 years ago, and, I'm still like, my God, I want to learn all of your classes here. It's like a new beginning for me. This is so funny. Love it. Love it. I'm interested in your class already, Sarah.
Great.
Kabbalistic tarot. That one, God, I used to have a lot of interest back then. Just never found a teacher who can teach this. So, wow. Taylor, your turn on this one.
Yeah, my turn. Yeah, feel free to take it. I'll hook you up, Tina. I'll hook you up. So,
Wow.
yeah. So this is awesome. Oh, go ahead.
I just heard about this tarot reading. It's very, very fascinating, very complex, but yet very deep and very spiritual.
Yeah.
So I'm excited when I see this class. So yes, let's explain to us what it is all about.
Yeah, well, most people, especially listeners, know tarot a little bit, and a lot of people mess around, play with tarot cards, and it's a very fun thing to do, and I get it, and I did that for many years, but a lot of people don't understand the foundation of tarot. What the foundation of the minor arcana, the court cards, and the major arcana is, and people understand the elemental foundation, and we talk about that, of course, in like the elemental magic class and all our classes in astrology too. But even beyond just the elemental foundation, what goes a layer beneath that, and ultimately what it all comes down to, is the Kabbalistic tree of life. And the Kabbalistic tree of life essentially is the map of human consciousness. It is a diagram for the universe, which is a 78-step process from infancy to immortality. And that is holographically placed over the tarot cards. What they are is just pictorial representations of each of these steps on what is a cosmic journey. And so when you start to understand the breakdown of the 10 spheres of the Kabbalistic tree of life, with the 22 pathways that connect the 10 spheres, all of a sudden you understand the 10 cards of the minor arcana, the 1 through 10, and the different elements, fire, water, air, and earth. And then you start to understand the 22 pathways of the Kabbalistic tree of life as represented by the major arcana, the 22 trump cards. So I teach, Sarah and I both teach the Kabbalistic foundation of the tarot first and foremost on day one, and it's a crash course. I mean, you could take you can get a master's degree in Kabbalistic studies, but this is just, everything we do is to increase intuition. There's an emphasis on intuition, not information.
Exactly.
We offer you the information in our courses, but only in so much as it's like drinking from a fire hose. You're not going to get everything. We're just telling you that this exists. And if you want to be a Kabbalistic scholar, good luck. That's not what this 3-day tarot class is for, but this will open your eyes to that world, and you can continue your studies from there. But so after we study the tree of life, then we go into the tarot and its relation to it.
Wow, amazing. Definitely interested in that too. Well, let's go down to the next one. We did the twin flames already. So you got this class, energy clearing. What is it? What is it about?
I guess I'll start, and then I'll let Sarah fill in. So
Absolutely.
yeah, so I happen to be very into paranormal activity. I'm a sucker for the supernatural, okay? And
A lot of people are. I used to
Yeah.
watch the show.
yeah,
For
right.
years.
I love it. I love the ghost shows.
I love it. I watch them all. Yep.
So I knew that we wanted to also work with energy clearing too, and energy clearing, it's not just, it's not just ghosts and demons and evil spirits and all that. A lot of it is just negative energy, and negative energy is a byproduct of negative emotions. Emotions have residual power to affect an environment. And so essentially what we're doing, this more relates to an actual physical, tangible energy clearing business that I'm doing here in LA, where we're going to houses and clearing both the client, the person, and the house itself. So we're clearing it of lower vibrational energy, as it says, and also any kind of possible paranormal activity that can exist in that house. Sarah, you want to say anything about the energy clearing?
Yeah, so we're teaching people how to use crystals, herbs, and also like their own focus, will, and intention to clear their own space. And this is a 1-day class. So it's important that people change their vibration, because a lot of people, especially right now, there's so much negativity going around. Like, they're actually creating a toxic space for themselves. So it's so important, especially like, most people get out of the house. We have to go to the grocery store. A lot of people still work outside the home. They have to deal with family members who might not be on the same page as them. It's so important to have these tools to learn how to clear your energy around you, especially if you're doing intuitive work, if you're an astrologer, if you're a tarot card reader, if you're an intuitive reader of any kind. It's so important to have these tools and to be aware of your own energy and other people's energy. And like Taylor said, he's actually doing this in person in LA right now. And I'm planning on joining him very soon to do this business in person to clear people's homes, and also that, because it starts with the person. It doesn't start with the place. The physical location is just a manifestation of the people who live there.
Nice. And now you mentioned Taylor lives in Los Angeles. What about yourself, Sara? Are you from Los Angeles too?
No, I live in the Midwest.
Okay, cool. So now you may have some people go, you know what? I'd rather have Taylor and Sara do the clearing for my, for me, like that. Can you do it through distant clearing? Because let's say if someone in LA wants you to do it, Sara, or someone wants Taylor to do it in the East Coast because they like your energy. This is all about that. They connect with your energy. People come to you as a student because they connect with the teacher's energy, correct? Even like I'm interviewing you guys right now, I'm connecting. I like your energy. That's what it is. Universe brought the energy together.
I agree.
So you're going to have clients that's just like, I don't care where you live, but can you help me from distance?
I think I'll let Sara, and Sara may have a different opinion than me too. That's another thing. You have to.
Sara may get a lot of requests from male audience here.
Yeah, absolutely.
She hasn't found the twin flame, and she's beautiful too. So there you go. Go ahead, please. I'm just.
But
joking.
my answer to that is yes and no. I really believe that there are things in life that require human interaction, real life, 3D, physical contact. And absolutely, can you send Reiki to someone's house? Can you send clearing to someone's house? Of course you can. It's amazing, and it'll be better than not doing it. But is there something also about having Sara and I come onto your property, sit down on the couch with you, talk to you about your emotional experience, your traumas, your pains, your triggers, your situation, have us hear you, and then move through your space armed with that information, trying to actually vibe out the different corners, portals, areas of your house that may be containing that residual energy that you described to us out of your mouth in person in the same room. You see what I'm saying? Like
it's not.
Sara, you go ahead.
The same. It's just not the same. Like, when I'm doing a reading for somebody, I could send clearing to them. Okay. If they want, I could send clearing to them. I've sent clearing to Taylor, because he's like going through a hard time, and I send clearing to him, but it's not the same as being in person, because when you're in person, you can actually assess the situation in a way that you can't when you're in a distance. You have to actually feel that situation out in a tangible 3D way. I know a lot of people hate that phrase 3D, but the truth is you cannot get to a higher level without having the 3D tangible evidence. And it might be because I have a lot of earth in my chart, but I need to be able to touch, feel, taste, see that situation, for myself. And like even a few days ago, I was in person with Taylor and we cleared his house. And it was very different than me sending clearing to his house all the way from Michigan.
So out of curiosity, how much you guys charge to clear the house? I'm sure a lot of people is going to be like, I want one.
It depends on the square footage, because a studio apartment is a lot different than like in a state. So
got you.
Yeah. And we don't have a price per square foot, but it's just more like describe the size of your house or let us come check it out. So,
in the issues that are going on.
Yeah. And the issue. Yeah. Oh my God. That's the number one. Yeah. Demonic activity is a lot different than like, my boyfriend and I broke up, so I just kind of want to clear the space.
There you go. I'm sure a lot of couples would love to do that. Yeah. So amazing. Now, what are your average costs for the classes here? I know, with your Starseed Cosmology, I think it's very reasonable. Are the classes about in the price range of the same price range? This is for our listeners.
So what we're going to do right now, we're a new school. We just started June 1st. So, we like to get our name out there. We like to run specials, run discounts. You know me, Tina, like, especially if somebody has a story, I will give them our class for free. I don't care about money. I care about, you know, if somebody's like, I'm on disability or whatever, yeah, I've been on disability, take our class, please take all our classes. But the price we're ultimately reaching by 2023 is $222 for every kind of longer course, the 3 to 4 day courses. And we're going to keep all the 1 day courses at $44. The Twin Flames, the Energy Clearing, and the Starseed Astrology. Those all be $44. And we want that price low because we're using those as kind of promotional courses. Like if you're unsure about, you know, taking the $222 4-week course, just come take one of our 1 day courses. It's 2 hours, $44. See if you like it. See if you vibe with Sarah and I or whoever else is teaching it, and let that be your kind of gateway into the bigger classes.
I just think it's very reasonable, even just for $222. It's affordable for everyone. It's reasonable for what you offer. I mean, for 3 day classes, Starseed Cosmology that I'm taking right now for 220, that's well worth it, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, like you say, you offer some bonus and extra. I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool of Taylor. That's amazing. Very kind-hearted person. And that was one reason why I would like to introduce the audience and people to know about you. And, you know, guys, you don't have to be, I mean, you guys teach this through Zoom. So you can be anywhere in the world. Doesn't matter what country. Yeah. Take these classes. Like, go to their website, mysticarts.org. I always get it wrong, you know. I apologize with that. Yeah. You guys got anything else to share? Because I noticed here too, you have new classes coming up. What are new classes that you're projecting to come up pretty soon?
That only means, I should put it, that's just new dates. These classes are fixed, but like sometimes somebody's like, oh, I don't see the tarot class. It'll be posted. It'll be like offered in late October or different classes. We're just cycling through these same ones. So maybe I should actually change the wording on that. But new dates will be posted, I should say.
Great, great. So far you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 classes offering at your website right now, guys.
10 classes. Yeah.
That's right. Starseed Cosmology, Elemental Magic, Astrology Academy, Kabbalistic Tarot, Twin Flames, Energy Clearing, Psychic Clairvoyance, and Akashic, Starseed Astrology. Those are amazing. Each and every classes that you guys have talked about. I want to take them all, even though I have, you know, I used to be a teacher before. It's like, well, this is a candy store.
I love it. Yeah, you're welcome to take all the classes. We'd love to have you.
Great, thank you. Any last word that you guys wanted to give to people? Any motivation and you know, you would like to share with the audience, guys?
Yeah, I mean, we started this school just from a conversation, and we're so happy that we can, you know, teach for a living and help people in this way, because with all the changes that are occurring on Earth right now on this planet, it's so important to have this knowledge. It shouldn't be a secret. So definitely take our classes, especially like the 1 day class. What do you have to lose? It's 2 hours, $44. And I know people are going to just love it. It's just going to open their mind and open their third eye chakra. So we're just so excited to, you know, open so many people's intuition, their third eye chakra. It's just amazing.
You guys going to open up their world into another whole level that 5D, guys, 5D. That's what we're going to. Last word, Taylor, with you.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with what Sarah said. Like, we're just trying to get this out there into the world. You know, for us, it's really not about money. And I mean, just to prove that, Sarah and I were doing Instagram lives for like 2 years on this material out of joy. Yeah. I used to do daily lives on Instagram because I just love talking about this stuff. And, you know, over time, we're like, well, hell, if we just do this for fun, why? Like, let's just go into business. It's like Ghostbusters, you know. We're like, hey, let's go into business for ourselves and let's just like do this professionally. So yeah, this all started. This is what we do for fun, and that's why we're doing it professionally.
See, that's when you become so successful in what you do. Is coming from joy. It's coming from your heart, because that's your natural gift that you're born with.
Yeah.
You know, and you guys are showing people how to play with your inner child, to have fun again. Life is too stressful for a lot of people because we took it so seriously, and a lot of people doing their work that they're not enjoying.
Yeah.
But you guys are doing your work with joy, you know, and passion. and you sharing with people. And of course, even though you said it's not our money, but you know, you guys still need money to pay the bills. So of course you got to charge for the
Only to eat.
classes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Rocky
Yes.
Steady, yeah.
You guys on Instagram, we'd like to share your Instagram, please, because on the podcast, they can follow you guys too.
Sure.
Oh, cool. Yeah, go ahead, Sarah.
Sure. Mine is Sara, Sara, Ashley _astrology. So Sara Ashley _astrology. And I also have my own personal website where people can book readings with me. They can book astrology readings, Akashic readings, and also tarot readings. And that's www.sarahashley.astrology.com.
Perfect. Taylor?
Awesome. Yeah, Taylor Fortune _mystic. Taylor Fortune _mystic. So yeah, I want to thank you, Tina. This is the first official interview we've done for the Mystic Arts, to promote the Mystic Arts. So you're the first one. Yeah. 2 months in. Yeah.
I'm so honored to hear this, Taylor.
Yeah.
You know, I know a lot of people follow Ismael, but you two are as important and as special. I took your class, you co-teaching with Ismael, both of you, and I love your style of talking, teaching, and I really like your energy, Taylor. I mean, you know, just a very humble person as well.
Yes.
And Sara, I love you when the first time you talked, and I was like, wow, she also got beautiful energy. And I love all of that. And I just wanted to, you know, said I'm very grateful and thank you for coming on. And it's great to, you know, to finally officially talk about your school. And I learned so much about each one of your classes today, believe it or not, even though I went to your site already. I just went real quick, just cosmology class, pay, and that's it. And I'm sure a lot of people do that. A lot of people do that. So guys, look up their website. You can mention your website again, Taylor, better than me. I always
That's right. TheMysticArts.org. TheMysticArts.org.
Cool. Currently, they got 8 classes right now. You guys have heard all of this, how amazing it is, each class. It sounds so much fun. You guys just go there. And I would like to thank you, everyone. Oh. Yes, go ahead, Taylor.
Final thing. So it's 10 classes with the 3 astrology classes, but I'm only pointing that out because you can become certified. That's where this is all going. So if you take all 10 classes, 3 astrology classes plus the 7 other ones we have, we offer a certification, a master of the mystic arts. So please, work, do that.
So imagine you get certified for all those classes and you have all knowledges of all those classes. You can turn around and do that as a living, even part-time, who knows, as a part-time side gig.
Part-time, full-time,
and help other people. Right.
I won't say that it won't be the end of your journey, but it will absolutely be the beginning. It'll absolutely be the beginning to be a professional astrologer, to be a professional tarot reader, Akashic reader, elemental magician, starseed cosmologist, all of that. Become a master of the mystic arts, and this will kickstart your spiritual practice. I guarantee it.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal foundation.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, one last question. Do you have certification for mystic warriors?
Coming soon.
I look at your sign in the back there.
I love it. That's Ismael and my podcast. You can catch that on our YouTube channel. And of course, Sarah, Siren Song, she runs the Divine Feminine. So Ismael and I do the Divine Masculine podcast on the Mystic Arts TV at YouTube. And Sarah, you want to pitch Siren Song?
Yeah, we do it Tuesday nights around 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Sometimes it's at 9:00 p.m. Eastern, just depends. And that's on Tuesday nights. And that's also on the same YouTube channel. And that's the Mystic Arts TV. And it's Sophia Sadie, BA Fame, and me. And we talk about just divine feminine issues. And we try to bring on a different guest each week. Sometimes it's a male, sometimes it's a female, but it doesn't matter because we like to have fun. We like to, elevate the world with humor right now and some of the funny things that happen to us, but we also talk about serious topics as well.
Oh, beautiful. Can you guys email me all those information and links again too? I can post that in the description for those of you who want to follow Taylor, Sara, or all of them. You can do so. Sounds good.
Will do.
Thank you so much, both of you. Thank you for being here and share your energy, share your knowledge. Guys, thank you so much for listening until the end of this video. Please do not forget to subscribe, click like, and please share this video to all your friends, your family, or even at the social media. Share them about all the classes that these two, Taylor and Sara, are teaching, as well as Ismael, that you guys been following. There's going to be more classes coming up. Get your certification for Mystic Warriors. So anyway, guys, thank you. Look in the description. If you're on the podcast, you can also look at the description as well. Until the next video, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Bye. Virtual
Bye.
hugs, guys.
Take
Thank
care.
you
Bye-bye.
so much.